Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 246th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which opened in the US on July 31st, 2015. It was directed by Christopher McQuarrie. It's an action spy film, and the synopsis says, Ethan and his team take on their most impossible mission yet. I don't know how missions can be varying degrees of impossible, but okay. When they have to eradicate an international rogue organization as highly skilled as they are and committed to destroying the IMF. Wow. That's the syndicate. It's the syndicate.
Yeah.
Liam, we made it to the McQuarrie era. Let's pat on the back for that, finally. A long exhale from me. What did you think of the first entry in the McQuarrie era, Rogue Nation?
Yeah, well, I am also happy to be in the McQuarrie era. I think, I think the last one, I think we talked about like the, how the action has kind of improved, the filming of the action has improved each time, and I think you can still see it. You can still definitely see McQuarrie's imprint. It wasn't just kind of Ghost Protocol that like made the action cleaner and everything. This kind of like brought it to a new level, I guess.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know how much I enjoyed it this time, but it is an impressive film. It moves very quickly. It's very like sleek. There's no. Yeah, the characters are pretty fun, pretty well defined, and it's just I don't know, very solid action film, and with a great villain with a great name as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And another mysterious character with a great name. So. Yeah.
This movie's got a lot of really good names, which is, of course, appropriate for our question.
The Bone. What was the Russian?
The Bone Doctor.
But the Bone Doctor. Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I take issue with you saying I don't know how much I enjoyed it this time. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Like I might have a bit of fatigue at this point with the franchise.
Oh damn! Oh no!
Like, I know Jaden. I know Jaden like rewatches these movies a lot, but I don't think I can do that. Like I think if I rewatched all these movies again, it would be like not a good experience.
Okay.
I'm at the edge of my rewatch abilities here.
Damn.
My personal abilities in rewatching stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is this setting you up poorly for Final Reckoning? Are you like going to be just not in the mood?
No, because I haven't seen Final Reckoning.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully Fallout will rejuvenate it a bit, but also Fallout's like the one I've rewatched recently and probably the most. But no, actually no, I think this one I've seen a few times. Like maybe it's this one in particular, because I have definitely seen this a few times. Like I saw this at the cinema. Did I? Oh well, I saw Ghost Protocol at the cinema, but this is one I've definitely watched with my mum at least once, maybe twice. Yeah, but hopefully not.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you how much I liked Rogue Nation. I liked Rogue Nation a lot. It's really good. It's really good. I think I wrote fewer notes than in the last few, just because I struggled to take my eyes off the screen at times. Like, in Ghost Protocol, I had my complaints, so I was just kind of happy typing away at times, but not this time. And man, I don't know. It's not like this film is doing anything super unexpected or like challenging the genre or challenging the franchise in any crazy ways. It's just like you said, it's sleek. It's so well refined and entertaining to the point where every sequence just works. It just works, this movie. I feel like I had the desired level of response and engagement to basically everything they tried to pull off. I don't know. It just works. They just nailed it, honestly.
The desired level. Your enjoyment was commensurate to the quality of the scenes.
Pretty much. I was like there was no I felt like I was just, unlike some past ones, I was just perfectly in tune with Christopher on this one. You know what I mean? I was just like, I was the perfect audience member for this.
You have always kind of loved this one, right? I believe.
I've always liked this one. This is definitely my favorite viewing of it. Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always liked this one. I think I always and still kind of do mentally prepare. I always preferred Fallout. I think most people kind of do, right? But so yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes next week. But this was, yeah, I always liked this one, but this was better than even like I remembered. Like I really did enjoy it. I must say, I've only seen it though. I haven't seen it much as well, but maybe that helps a bit. I never saw this one in the theater. I don't know why. 2015? What was I doing in 2015? Nothing. Bloody sitting around with Jay.
I have no idea.
I'll tell you what, I had no excuse not to say. I don't know why. I've got no idea why I didn't see this in the theater. So I've seen everyone. I saw, obviously saw Ghost Protocol and then saw a bunch after. It's like, I don't know. But didn't see this one in the theater. Actually watched this one for the first time at a birthday party. It was weird.
Oh, really?
So like, one of those things where like you kind of half watch it. And then I only actually sat down and watched it like properly once. I watched it before Fallout came out. I made sure to watch it properly. So that was already 7 years ago, which is nutty. So that was it. That's the last time I saw it. So it was pretty fresh. And yeah, it's banging. What can I say? I feel like the thing that makes it banging, Fitzy, or one of the things, is I've just got to get out of the way now because, it's my number one whinge of this franchise thus far has been the team, the characters, these random side characters that pop up you don't give a shit about. This is it. We did it. This team is great. It's the first time I've been all in on them. They're all from previous films. We know them all already, thank God. And the chemistry's great. Like you said, every character's well defined. Has their part, They have good chemistry in every scene. It just works. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, give me this.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner somehow works very well in this film. He's not in Fallout, is he?
No, but yes.
They cut him from Fallout. But yeah. He really fits with the group super well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, I don't know, I liked him better because there was the whole thing obviously last time in Ghost Protocol of it being like he's there to be Ethan's replacement in the franchise or whatever. And that was kind of weird. And he's kind of there. Yeah, I don't know. He kind of didn't fit in quite in Ghost Protocol for me, where he's kind of another Ethan. He's kind of also just there with Ethan doing field work stuff, But this time, like him being the suit character or leaning more that way, he comes into the field at the end, obviously, but like being more like the IMF, representing the CIA subplot side of things. That worked really well. That worked, where he's kind of, there's overlap at times, but he's kind of in his own subplot in the movie that's very connected to everything, but very much a different role as opposed to feeling like Ethan Light, like he did last time sometimes. So, yeah, I agree. I thought he definitely was a huge improvement there in his part in the film over Ghost Protocol. And, it's just good to have Ving back, thank God, as well, Like,
oh, yeah,
I still can't get over that he wasn't in the last. That's still nuts to me.
Well, the Ving, he didn't really do much this film. I mean, it like, all you really need is his presence, though,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, you're not wrong. He basically just stands around and has a couple lines every now and again.
And it just adds to the film, just like...
It does.
Just inherently, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, even I mean, all the additions in this film are great. Like, but like Alec Baldwin, I think, is also a great addition as like the
Oh
kind
yeah,
of the more arsehole suit guy who like Jeremy Renner kind of has to fight a bit.
yeah. That was that all that stuff was good. You know.
Oh yeah. The court scenes are good. Yeah,
Yeah.
sparse. Yeah, um, very fun. Yeah.
Alec Baldwin, he comes in and does his whole whisper talk thing,
Mm.
which kind of suits the franchise. To be honest, it's kind of weird, but it kind of suits. I don't know. Is it? Do you get awkward watching Alec Baldwin on screen now, though?
Oh no, do you?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like you know, like I'm not like I don't have any strong feelings about him or anything. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't watch him,
Yeah.
but it's just a little bit awkward, just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, everything with him and Renner was solid. I agree.
Yeah, it's like that they had an addition for each kind of like area, I guess, of and like a character corresponded. Like okay, so for Alec Baldwin, you had Jeremy Renner, you know, and then for Ethan, you had Ilsa Faust. And then obviously with like just for the villain in general, we had also just a cool, you know, kind of mirror character. So yeah, and then even for Ilsa, you had the Bone Doctor. So it was like everyone had that kind of, you know, person that they're fucking you know, their opponent, their opposition.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Also had that. Yeah, they speak the same language. That means that they're linked. You know.
Yeah. Was that Russian? I mean, I always kind of just say it's Russian. You know,
It's
It
Swedish.
could be some. Oh, that was Swedish. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
For some
I
reason,
mean,
it sounded harder than Swedish, but yeah.
yeah, it didn't sound Swedish, really. But I always just say Russian when it's like, you know, weird language, weird henchman language. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, I get what you're saying with Solomon Lane being like a general, you know, mirror character to the whole. I mean, I guess to Ethan, or like to the whole notion of IMF, I guess. But specifically, I watched this with Jake, and we were cracking up every time. Yeah, I think we were the only ones, but like every time Sean Harris had the face to face with Simon Pegg, you know, when they're like get really up close, like with each other in that one scene. It's like, dude, it's like this talking about mirror characters. We were just laughing because it's like the multiverse version of Benji is Solomon Lane.
you reckon?
Because they just look the same, dude.
Well, I guess Benji is the one that went face to face in that scene, so maybe maybe that is Benji's character.
I think so.
But you think they look similar? I mean, I guess they do look a bit similar, maybe.
Yeah. When they did. It was like, yeah, and even one of them obviously had the facial hair going on. It's like, okay, but like they just look similar.
The redhead equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that was funny. But I mean, we got to. I appreciate your attempts to dive into the new characters a little bit. I guess we can talk about Solomon Lane. I thought for years it was Solomon Lang because I didn't watch for subtitles, but you taught me that it's Solomon Lane. I still was a little bit skeptical that it actually was, but the subtitles confirmed that you were right, actually, believe it or not.
I think I just saw it in the cast list last week. I definitely could have thought it was Lang, but I can't remember.
Right. Yeah. Great name, great character. It's just, well, first, I think it's one of those things that's been a recurring thing with this franchise where like half of it's just the actor, more than half of it's just the actor, and Sean Harris is great, you know. So therefore, you just buy in, and he's got a great presence. He's got a great voice, a very nasally sort of voice going on. I mean, that's just his voice because he always talks like that. But
yeah, he's got great fashion choices. You know, like the purple.
Oh yeah.
Like the purple. What is it? I don't know. it's like one of those really long jackets.
You're not talking about the turtleneck, are you?
No, not the turtleneck. The turtleneck's cool too, but like he wears this like really this purple like long jacket when he's like talking with Elsa.
Oh, at the graveyard or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. He's got. I love the turtleneck too. Yeah,
Mm.
he's like.
That was kind of funny to me though. I thought, like, who's this guy trying to be like Steve Jobs over here? It's crazy. Who does he think he is?
Is he trying to be Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's. I think I especially liked it. I mean, obviously, it's very like British espionage feel, and that makes sense because that's what his character is. He's a rogue turned MI6 operative, so that's cool. But I think I actually liked it, especially looking forward to it in contrast to his look in Fallout. Like in Fallout, he goes full hobo, obviously because he's in prison.
Yeah.
And like just the contrast of that is cool. I like that a lot. Like you get like this is him, all buttoned up, so to speak, doing his thing. And then next time we get him full crazy. I like that a lot.
I think I like the hobo look better. Because he looks more like radical, like how he actually is, I guess. But this is still an intimidating presence, I guess. I mean, the only scene, the Benji scene, which you mentioned, was the only scene where I was kind of like, it was kind of weird, I guess, the way he kind of leant in and did the whole like villain, sly kind of movement things. But like in every other scene, he does have like an intimidating presence, and they space his screen time out really well.
Yes,
I think, as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, and I agree that I like his Fallout look more too. But I think I like that more because we got this first.
Right. Yeah.
Because we got that point of character. If he just turns up looking hobo, it's like, that's cool too, I guess. But I like seeing the evolution
that's true.
of the look.
Contrast. Yeah.
So yeah. He's an interesting character in that, I don't know. I guess it's not that different to like what they've done before. I mean, wait. Now I'm getting all my shit mixed up. No, Owen Davian was not a former operative, right? I don't think.
No, I don't think so. But he was working with Billy Crudup. But I don't think he was like. Oh, I don't think he had the same kind of motivation. No, but I don't think he was either like a former operative.
No, but obviously the guy. I guess I'm thinking of like the Mission Impossible 2 guy. He was.
Oh yeah. Did he have the same like reason for defecting?
I don't know. I'm trying to forget about that one, Liam.
Clearly, no, I can't remember either. Yeah.
Neither can I. So it's not super new by any means, but I don't know. I liked his little explanation in the graveyard, like how Wait, am I getting my scenes mixed up already? Well, no, it is in the graveyard, right? How when Ilsa confronts him about, killing people, he used to kill people to keep the status quo, but now he kills people to bring about change.
Yeah, I think it makes this villain makes a lot of sense for the series because of how often Ethan has been, tossed around by his government. So it makes sense they have this villain that's like basically an alternative version of like an Ethan character who was like fed up with, just being told what to do and not having any security or like understanding of what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. After watching 5 of these movies, we get it. We get how one like Ethan Hunt. Ethan's just a one-on-one, you know what I mean? We all know that. But we get how someone in his position has been treated and could, want to do what Sean Harris is doing in this one. Would have the means to,
Sure.
it is kind of funny, I must say. Like, towards the end of this movie, it's kind of insane when like, I think it's when they've just when they've captured Benji, and they're like in the parking garage there, and Luther and Jeremy Renner are raising these valid points about unleashing the syndicate. Of like, if you try and do this now, like, you're just going to give the, what do you call it, like the red box or whatever. You're just going to hand it right to Lane, and you're just going to unleash the syndicate on the world. You're going to give him all the money, exactly what he wants. And like, this is a valid argument. And Ethan's only counter is, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
I'll get it done. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I remember that moment. Yeah. What he said? He said, "Oh, I won't," or something. Oh, he's like, "What if you fail?"
Yeah.
Ah, I won't.
I won't.
And then Renner's face is like, "Ah, gotcha."
That's all he needed to hear.
Yeah.
And it was, they were just like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah.
he won't.
He
won't let it happen, so he won't. So it's fine. We're fine. That's a perfect example of just Ethan Hunt, just being Ethan Hunt right there.
The living manifestation of destiny.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. He's just a force in unto himself. I just thought that moment was funny. But hey, look, I must say, if I were in the same position and I knew Ethan Hunt, I'd probably go with it too. It's like Ethan Hunt's telling me he's got it, so he's probably got it.
Yeah,
that's fair. Sean Harris originally agreed to appear as Solomon Lang on the proviso that his character be killed, as he didn't want to be in any sequels. Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise agreed, but couldn't find a way to dispose of the character that felt narratively satisfying. As a result, they decided to have Lane be captured with no plans to reappear. However, during the last days of filming Rogue Nation, McQuarrie and Cruise both had the idea to make the next film's mission revolve around Hunt having to break Lane out of prison.
Well, there's got to be like the one actor who actually requested, one movie and then actually didn't get the one movie. Like every other Mission Impossible villain previously has like been just that movie's villain, but now he's a recurring character.
Yep. Well, every other villain in this franchise so far has died in the movie.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So not only is he the only villain, it's like perfect. It's like not only is he the only villain to survive, it's like, well, that almost makes it sound weirder. Like he was going to survive because they had no way to kill him that was satisfying, but it's like he was going to survive and not reappear, apparently. So it's like, you've got this guy alive. You got to go from there, obviously.
Yeah, Tom Cruise and McQuarrie definitely they definitely sussed that out. They were definitely like we'll tell him he survived.
Yeah.
It wasn't narratively satisfying, and then we'll ask him again later.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, thank God it all worked out for the best there. The film. So this was interesting to learn. Actually, this film was on a tight schedule. Let's say the film's plot was very difficult to develop. Cruise and McQuarrie admitted that the film didn't have a script when it went into production. Oh shit, we've been here, done that. They just had the major action sequences planned out when they started filming. For instance, the underwater heist sequence was outlined from beginning to end, but what Benji was actually stealing was unknown while they were filming it. Some scenes of important exposition were written while they were being filmed. Production even had to be halted in February of 2015 so that McQuarrie and Cruise could rework the film's story and ending. February 2015 is 4 months before the movie came out, by the way.
Damn, that's crazy.
That is crazy. This film was meant to come out in December of 2015, but they moved it ahead to July to get out of the way of The Force Awakens. And I think Spectre was there too in November. So, man, I don't know. That's kind of, I guess the moral of the story is there, that's not, we've had this similar trivia a few times. I'm looking at you, Gladiator, where, they're shooting stuff without a script and all this sort of stuff, and their production timelines are being cramped. which is always interesting to learn about and kind of crazy. It's just, I guess my main takeaway for it as it applies to this film is that, I don't know if you felt this way, but I personally could not tell at all. There was no sign of it. And I think that's
not
pretty
really.
impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even really that convoluted of a plot. I mean,
No.
yeah, once you understand that, like, the disc is just like money, basically.
No, it's not. It's not complicated at all. And I was trying to compare that to, I don't know, there are certain just intangible qualities to it, I feel like, where I was trying to compare it to our conversation about Ghost Protocol and how the whole vagueness of the stakes in that one was just kind of didn't work. It was just sort of annoying, where it was just vague. Everyone was just vaguely like, oh, we're trying to stop nuclear holocaust. All right. You know, and like you just sort of had nothing to latch onto character-wise with the villains and the motivations and all that. It's funny how this one really isn't that different, actually. Like, it's just also this guy who's like vaguely wants money to do terrorist stuff. That's basically it. But like, I think it just goes to show, I guess maybe it speaks to what Francis Ford Coppola was saying in that trivia for Megalopolis, where it was just like, every movie is an illusion. If the other parts of the movie, if the other parts of the illusion are functioning and you're in your seat, then like the other aspects of it, even though they might not be so different, they kind of just all fall into place as well, you know?
Yeah. I guess so. But I think like the thing in that movie with it directly being like warheads that are like hitting New York was a bit, I think that was less satisfying than like the implications of all the future terrorist things that we don't know about. But it is like still pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar in scale, but I think you probably just touched on a good point there where, it's the implications of what Solomon Lane can do and what he will do, you know, as opposed to just, and like what those things are, probably launching a nuke at New York, you know what I mean? Like they're probably the same shit, but it's, it's just the implications of is kind of all that makes a difference as opposed to just like knowing exactly what it is and it being kind of generic. Yeah. A bit of mystery around Solomon Lane for sure. And of course, I mean, we need our whole dedicated, like we wouldn't be doing our commenter justice. I can't remember. Do you remember the commenter's name? I can't remember his name. But we need our
Ilsa Faust fan number one.
Number one, Ilsa Faust fan. Sorry, but we of course need our Ilsa Faust section here. Just for you. Dude, if this guy doesn't comment on this one after all his comments, then that's actually insane. I need him there, please.
We need you.
We need you. Please, sir. Turn up, whoever you are. Ilsa Faust, great name. Again, Rebecca Ferguson, great in this movie. Just, I don't know. It just works. It just works. The whole dynamic with Ethan is interesting. Playing both sides. Nothing you haven't seen before. Playing both sides here, but like, I don't know. She just does it so well.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think this movie is more like more Bond than other Mission Impossible films? Because when I think of Ferguson in this film, and particularly the opera scene, that feels very Sam Mendes. That feels very like Skyfall. Like was like some of those more central sequences in Skyfall. It just has the same kind of vibe to me. So like in general, this film feels more Bond to me than we've kind of seen before, and even after, I think Fallout isn't that much like Bond.
No, yeah.
I think it's just like, especially with Ferguson, just like the espionage element to it, the double crossing and the plans within plans kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose side is she on? You know, but like it's pretty obvious. But whose side is she on? Yeah. No, I actually totally agree with that. Her presence, I like that. It is kind of a Bond thing. I get the Sam Mendes comparison, particularly in the opera sequence. She also does just feel like, I don't know, a good Bond girl, I guess. She kind of feels like an Ana de Armas presence, I guess. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that she's not just like. Is this the first time we haven't had a female spy character that's just not like on the team? You know, that's just like an underling to Ethan doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's very much her own presence in the film, you know?
Yeah, but she also feels like she's a much more direct. She is a romantic interest. I don't think some of the other girls on the team were romantic interests for Ethan. They were just kind of on the team, as you said. Like in 3 and Ghost Protocol, I don't think there was anything there.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, 2 was like that, but you know, it wasn't really. Like,
yeah.
What was her name? What was her? Yeah, she wasn't really Bond coded, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everything you're saying is right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess like that is kind of one of the hallmarks of like the modern Bond girls is that they're also kind of.
I mean, it's something really obvious. Just it's British, like they're in fucking UK as well. So I guess that's probably the big thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. I feel like a lot of these modern Bond girls kind of, I don't know, have a lot more agency and they kind of have their own motivations. Sounds so cookie cutter, but it's kind of true. Like, we haven't really had that in this franchise up until this point, really, to be honest, with any of the female characters.
Yeah.
So I get the comparison. Sure. I think it's a good one. Yeah, I feel like Jaden's probably gutted that he's missing out on the Rebecca Ferguson standing section.
Oh, well, there'll be. Oh, wait, no.
He's got one more chance.
Yeah, one more chance. Yeah.
One more chance next week for that. Yeah. I think this is probably the first time I saw her in anything, to be honest. Was this like a breakout for her? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the first time I saw her or anything too, yeah. Because I don't really know, like, apart from Dune, what has she been in? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good point. I mean, like, I know she's in that Apple show, Silo.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her ads,
yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any of it, yeah. Yeah, that's it's basically, it's it's kind of all I can think of. I'm sure she's done other great stuff, I don't know. But yeah, she's great. Her whole relationship with Ethan in this film is kind of interesting, though. I don't know, what is it that they see in each other in this film, I guess? Because there's clearly the romantic aspect to it, which is good. I'm glad that there is one, as opposed to, like you mentioned, these other female characters in the past not having really anything there. I'm glad that that's clearly what this is, but it's also kind of subtle, I guess. It's not. I mean, I don't know if subtle's the right word, but they don't kiss or anything in this movie. You know what I mean? It's kind of on the back burner, I guess, as the priority.
Well, they do. There is that scene where, like, Ferguson says, like, we could escape together. You know, so maybe that's just what their potential relationship could represent, an escape from, the whole thing.
That's true. Well, yeah, that was very much a proposition coded in romance.
I suppose, yeah. But I guess just like it makes sense for like Ethan after, again, like the whole being disbanded for every film and that kind of thing.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, he should take that, to be honest.
And then also Rebecca Ferguson, like, obviously is like tossed between parties in this film as well. So I guess that's their that's their kind of romantic underpinning, I guess, the similarity.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But like, it's funny, like how they don't really. I guess they just have some sort of like instant connection, I guess. To where there's nothing like really intellectual about, like, I don't know
Mm.
about like they
Yeah.
have like a bonding session. There's no. I feel like in other movies you'd have like a scene where they sit down and realize that they're not so different after all. Like or something like an exchange like that. There's kind of nothing like
Right.
that. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's all kind of just glances, they see each other's soul,
I see you.
Mm. No, but it is. I guess I do like that how they don't have to have like a big kind of emotional revelation scene. They're just in touch with each other.
I guess we can get into the action. I guess why not?
Sure.
I guess we better talk
if
about
we
it.
need to. Mm.
I think this film, like for me, obviously. I mean, there's so many good ones. I don't even know where to start. But like, when I think of this film, I think of the hanging off the plane stunt, obviously, and I think of the opera. Those are kind of the two that jump to mind right away. But then there's so many other good ones too that just kind of I forgot about, to be honest. But I don't know. I don't know where to start. Do you like the opening being the hanging off the side of the plane? Because I guess it's kind of crazy that they do the biggest stunt right away. Because as far as I recall, this was like the marketing push stunt for this film, as we talked about last time, was
Right.
the hanging off the plane, and they smashed it out there in the first 4 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Like, I mean, the scene. I mean, yeah, it is cool that they kind of open with a big stunt like that. I guess that's something different, but like, I definitely always think of like the water. I definitely like associate the water sequence and like the motorcycle chase, car chase.
Yeah,
that's kind of the big association I have with this film, I guess. I mean, I think that was like a little bit in the marketing, him like jumping into the, the big hole.
yeah. The big turbine, whatever it is, I don't know.
But no, the plane thing is cool. It's like relatively like bare, I guess, as a sequence. It's pretty simple, so you just get to enjoy him hanging from a plane. And I like the cheeky kind of opening of the cheeky kind of ending of that scene of him just like, using the parachute. Yeah, it was a very cool way to open for sure.
Yeah, I like how you described it as bare, because that's exactly what it was. It's like it kind of just is what it is, captured on screen, captured on camera for you all to enjoy. There's nothing intricate about it, really. It's just like, here's Tom Cruise hanging off the side of a plane that's taking off, and enjoy that.
Yeah,
and it's like
usually the stunts have like a lot of like context and exposition and stuff. But here's just the stunt.
Yeah, or that, or like more intricate movements, or I don't know, some sort of more dynamic sort of action to it, even. Yeah, no, it just is what it is. It looks really good, obviously, because they did it. I read they did 8 takes of it. I've got the trivia here, actually. Tom Cruise stated in an interview that it was his intention to do the stunt hanging off the Airbus in a way to outdo himself after the Burj Khalifa in Ghost Protocol. However, his idea raised objections by the crew due to safety. To capture the action, a wind-resistant custom frame for the camera was built and mounted onto the left wing of the plane. The other major problem would be keeping Cruise's eyes open in the presence of fast wind and runway particles, so his eye specialist designed a special lens that can cover the entire eyeball. So this is stuff that you just, I don't know, you don't think about. Oh yeah, it's going to be windy, I guess. 8 takes of the stunt were filmed. Christopher McQuarrie was very concerned that the actor might panic suddenly. But come on, Chris, this was obviously, that must have been before Chris knew Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise assured him to not stop filming.
Still getting acquainted, yeah.
Yeah, today he's like, whatever, we'll do anything. He realizes that now. But yeah, no, I enjoy it, and I enjoy, like you said, it's also like the fact that it doesn't need any exposition and setup story wise. It's just like we're right in there at the runway to start the movie. You get some good banter between the characters, which was all good as well. And then Ethan just turns up and jumps on the plane, and then that's it. There you go. Done. I liked it. And I guess the fact that it is probably the least complicated thing that they actually do in the film makes sense as it being the opening. Because it gets you in the mood.
Mm.
But, yeah, you need to save, obviously, the bigger sequences for later, for sure. I like how you called out like the whole underwater thing and then the motorcycle chase after it as like what you associate with this movie. I vaguely remembered the underwater thing, but this was the perfect example of me. Like, I don't associate this stuff with this movie. At least I hadn't when I saw it before. So this was the stuff that I was less certain about going in and ended up really enjoying, obviously, because it's great. First of all, the whole sequence in that, I keep calling it a turbine. I don't know what it is. The whole
underwater dome,
cylinder.
underwater
Dome. That's probably the best description. Underwater dome. Crew swimming around in there, holding his breath and shit. The way the camera just always stays with him and is floating and spinning around so seamlessly, and creating that tension. It's just fantastic. It's just so good.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest element of the film, I think, is just like the unseen element, which is like the spinning thing that hits him, and it's just kind of when you get the close up on him, and you kind of forget as he does about the massive spinning thing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like a big source of tension as well. But yeah, the way, like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, the way the camera kind of floats around and follows him in that is very cool. And it's just so, like, it's just so violent in there. It's just so, the water moves so quickly. It's scary. Yeah.
And then when the water resistance comes back on again, oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
After extensive training for the underwater scene, Tom Cruise was able to hold his breath underwater for a record-breaking 6 minutes. This record was then broken 7 years later during Avatar: The Way of Water, when Kate Winslet held her breath for 7 minutes and 14 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Wow, 6 minutes. Dude, I suck at... I can't do, I couldn't do a minute. I can maybe do a minute. No, I couldn't do a minute.
You could do a minute. You could do a minute.
With practice, maybe. But, I suck at that. So.
That's crazy. That's actually nuts. Kate Winslet doing 7 minutes and 14 seconds?
That's ridiculous. How's that even... There's no way.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
I believe it, but that's totally insane. What's up with these actors just I don't know, they're just going too hard, pushing themselves for their craft. I hope it's not I mean, obviously this is not true, obviously, but it's just funny. I like picturing James Cameron just being there in these giant pools on set and just being like, do not come up until the take is done, just sending her down there. And she basically just had to do it because she had to complete the whole thing.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible, but yeah, no, crazy impressive scene for sure. The tension and I don't know, the tension's so good where you got the heartbeat in the background the whole time, the oxygen levels so well. I love that's so genius to have the oxygen level displayed so clearly on the arm the whole time for you to be able to just keep track. And then and then it all builds to the fact that he doesn't make it, he actually dies. He fails,
Yeah, that was very cool. And Elsa coming in and saying that was
yeah.
That
might be actually one of the best. That's just a really cool. I just like that a lot. That's just a really cool story decision to have him.
Yeah, it's a really cool choice. Yeah, that he failed that. Yeah,
he totally failed and totally died, and Elsa saved his ass for sure. I paused it right around here. I was on this high of how good this sequence was and how much I'd already seen. And I was only an hour and 11 minutes into this movie. And I'm Jesus Christ, this movie, man, just keeps on giving. It's crazy. But yeah, you already called out then the whole chase after it. It goes straight from this sequence to this following Morocco car chase / motorcycle chase, which is so good by itself. I feel like it almost it's almost an injustice in how close it is back to back with the water one. It creates a great flow for the film, but it's like in terms of like it standing out, you can almost sort of bundle them together because they're just back to back. But they're obviously two completely
Right.
distinct
Yeah.
sequences that are both so good. So good, in fact, that I've got. I feel like this has got to be the best vehicle chase in the franchise so far.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely better than Ghost Protocols. Although Ghost Protocols was still good.
Oh, in the sandstorm, yeah.
Yeah, but this was excellent. Yeah, this is this is the sequence where the action really is elevated and hits. Yeah.
I feel like I'm looking forward to comparing this one to Fallout and Dead Reckoning again, actually. Just because I feel like McQuarrie then with each one he does do these kind of car chases each time. So I'm curious to go back and see if I feel like he one ups himself or if he's can't top this. I can't really remember, but I know he does do them again.
Yeah.
You know,
that's pretty
through
excellent too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's just so good. I also just can't talking about this clever shit. I think it's so funny how like them playing with the fact that Ethan's just died for the comedy in this at the start of the car during the car bit anyway, of like it's such a clever take on and such a great obviously within this universe take on, you know, your main character being inebriated having to drive or having to do something intense, you know what I mean? That's obviously a trope of like, oh, your characters usually it's like, oh, they're drugged or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's such a clever take. It was like, yeah, he was dead 2 minutes ago, so like that's why he's responding in this way, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't really have Ethan inebriated in any other way, I guess. But that was cool. I just like as you said, it's like a motorcycle / car sequence, and the way they, you know, the cars and the motorcycles kind of interact and I mean the coolest kind of shot I think is when the car kind of spins out and hits all the motorcycles in that like tight alleyway, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. But yeah, the fact that it goes from, you know, using the car as a kind of blunt instrument to defeat the motorcycles to Ethan on the motorcycle doing his thing, using his body as that kind of blunt instrument is just awesome. Yeah.
It really is. I don't know if then by the time you get into the motorcycles part of it, like that's the thing, like this sequence in itself, we just had the whole underwater thing, and then we come right into this sequence, and then this sequence in itself you can split it into two. Then when Ethan gets on the motorcycle as well, and when he gets on the motorcycle as well, I don't know if motorcycles have ever felt so fast on camera. They were flying.
Oh,
I'm sure they actually obviously weren't going that like very that fast, obviously, but like goddamn, it felt like they were absolutely. It felt like there were no shortcuts.
Yeah. Well, I think the shots of them going like through the cars and the highway is like where you feel that the most. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
And I assume you just. I mean, I don't know. I assume you just do that by like having everyone else drive at like a moderate speed, I guess.
Yeah.
Then you're going like obviously much faster than them, but still probably like I don't know if they're going like 30 k's an hour and then they're going like 60 or 80 or something, you know, on the cycles, then like that probably does it. And then combined with like the killer sound design, I imagine that's how you just make it feel insane.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
I was just because you know how usually like if you can sort of pick it apart and see like, oh yeah, it doesn't actually look like they're going that fast.
Could you just like speed
the shot
up?
Choices.
Could you just like literally speed it up as well? Like make it like 1.1 or something, 1.2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of that. But you also can't. That's a balance too. You can't do that too much because then it becomes you start to see that too.
Yeah.
So like they definitely might have done it a little bit for sure, but like you got not play with it too much. Yeah. So I think it was just whatever. Yeah, all these different elements at play. I think they sort of just struck the perfect balance with it to where it just felt perfect when you were watching it. So yeah, huge shout out to how that was put together for sure. I also feel like this movie. Do you feel like this movie's pretty funny?
Yeah, like that stuff with Benji and him and like being just dead was pretty funny. But yeah, the quips
Yeah.
are always kind of none of it feels kind of dead. I guess they'll kind of land to some extent. Yeah, I mean it's not hilarious, but yeah, the quips definitely.
No. It's not a comedy, but to me, it did just stand out. I feel like it's probably the funniest one we've seen so far, and the quips and the lines that they go for work again in the way that they're supposed to, where they're just amusing, they're funny. There's that I love the part when Benji's out unconscious, upside down in the car, and then he abruptly wakes up and says, "Oh, look out!"
Oh yeah,
But it's already up. I thought that was funny. I like that a lot.
right.
I also liked a lot when they were talking about like how long Ethan has to hold his breath in the planning stage.
Oh yeah, that was very funny. Yeah,
yeah. And Benji was just like,
and
"Oh
Benji
yeah,"
just expects him to do
Ethan.
everything.
That felt very believable. Of like, and also very in tune with the audience. Of just like, oh, 2 minutes, Ethan Hunt can do that. Sure,
yeah.
easy peasy. So yeah,
That's funny because he actually, as you said, he did die in that sequence, so he had reason to doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, we haven't talked about the Vienna Opera.
Oh yeah,
Like the best part. Is this the best part actually to you?
I enjoyed it a lot this time, just because I think of the water sequence so much, like as integral to the film. But the Vienna sequence as well is probably on par with the other big action scenes. Yeah, I do love the kind of the fighting with him and big bold. Oh, he's a big Russian guy. That was fun. Like playing with limited space. That was kind of
Yeah.
the movie just always has interesting kind of like setups to it, I guess. And in this setup, it's just playing with standing on this like small platform. That's the kind of the fun of that sequence. But yeah, that fist fighting was pretty cool, and the tension that Neswan Dolma, the classical opera song brings, that was very cool. And then that song becoming like Ilsa's song, Ilsa and Ethan's kind of song. That was overlaid later in the film.
I didn't notice that. I read that, but I just didn't notice it.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
I feel dumb.
That was cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, I mean, this is where like the film is almost at its sleekest, and you get the kind of assassin version of Ilsa, which was cool. The yellow dress. It's all very, very sleek, very nice. And Ethan's, I mean, the tension that it builds with that last note and Ethan's quick thinking, that was cool. His decision to, just graze the chancellor or whatever it is.
I agree with everything you just said for sure. I like when it turns into basically like a 2D platformer and like the fucking the platforms start rising and shit. And all the fighting, all the choreography on there as they're fighting is great. The culmination, I wrote that down too. The culmination of Ethan having to like make a quick decision there to shoot the Chancellor was really cool. Yeah, I don't know, just a smart decision. I feel like I didn't even consider it, which is why I'm not a spy, obviously. But like, that was just the smartest call. I was kind of thinking like, which one's he going to shoot right now? But there's like, there's no dialogue in this whole thing, basically. Very little anyway. I think there's a bit with Benji. That's basically it. It's awesome. It's awesome. Use of the backstage environment. You already mentioned the opera music. It's just so good. It's just cool. I don't know. It's just cool. I also think it's just really cool how like the instruments are the snipers.
Oh yeah, that was sick. Yeah,
that is sick. You can't really beat that, to be honest.
Solomon Lane was really what do you call it? He was really dedicated. He really, you know, didn't leave anything to chance. So he had three snipers there, and also the car which blew up. It was thorough. It was very, very thorough with that.
I mean, I know they explain that, but it's almost like, yeah, he kind of, he went a bit overboard there. He had every contingency. Yeah.
He was also actually in the theater.
True.
But somehow Benji didn't find him, but you know,
there's a lot of people there.
But like, it is risky, you know, putting yourself in the actual scene when you set everything up.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But yeah, he's just a thorough guy.
He's a thorough guy. Yeah. Like, why did he actually have to be there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of unnecessary. He just wanted to enjoy the show, I guess. Enjoy the assassination in the opera.
Yeah, he probably does enjoy that. He probably gets a high from it, like being there, and he can't wait to see the Chancellor get shot, and he's going to like relish in it. You know, to see that.
I'm sure we don't actually. Like, I don't know what the significance was of him being an Austrian Chancellor, but doesn't that have something to do with like France? Wasn't France Ferdinand? Was he?
Oh God,
Austria-Hungarian or something. Maybe there's like war illusions. You know, maybe that's why it's an Austrian, because you're like subconsciously thinking about World War One or Two, World War One. I don't know, whichever one it was.
Why are you asking me about this stuff? Who's Franz? I don't even know who that is. Who's Franz Ferdinand or whatever?
Franz Ferdinand was the guy who was like shot, and that like started one of the wars. World War One, I think. Yeah. Franz Ferdinand. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria.
Oh yeah.
And like his assassination kind of started World War One, I guess.
I do remember, I do recall there being an assassination. I didn't know that guy, but okay, so Austria. Okay, you think there's some sort of meta political commentary going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, possibly. Like, as in Solomon Lane is looking to incite his own version of a world war by killing the equivalent of Franz Ferdinand, the modern equivalent.
Yeah.
It's also kind of crazy that this movie has so much action that, like, it also just has a whole ending sequence as well. We haven't even talked about. Did you like the ending? Any part of it?
Can you remind me what happened?
Like the sit down in London where they're like sitting down by the Thames or whatever, having a chat.
Thames?
Is that how you say it?
I think it's Thames, River Thames.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah.
Thames.
You sit there and the bloody Benji's speaking for Lane, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't love that sequence. I think that, I mean, that's okay. The chase afterwards, and actually, I don't know if there's anything about that sequence I really love. Maybe just Lane running around and coming out of the car and like being in a vulnerable position is fun, I guess. But like Ilsa and the Bone Doctors fight, I kind of zoned out a bit for.
Okay.
Although I'm sure it was impressive. I'm sure. I mean, it is impressive, I guess. Choreography.
It is good.
Wise.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah. I think the film kind of whimpers out a bit, you know, because like to end with this stuff is kind of fine after like you know the big sequences, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, I think all this stuff at the end is really good. Actually, I think the knife fight's really good. I think the sit downs decently tense, and you know the way that Ethan changes the whole leverage of it is entertaining. Yeah, it's all good. It's just I think it's honestly just a product of it having to follow everything that came before it, to where it just doesn't top anything you've already seen in the movie. So as a result, the momentum kind of the momentum, if anything, feels like a bit of a whimper out. I don't disagree, but I don't think it's for lack of anything in these scenes necessarily, but I think it's just the way the cookie crumbles when you have such good shit before it.
True.
So yeah, and I do like how they trap Lane in a box and get him with that glass.
Ethan was obsessed with putting him in a box, like what he did to him. It's kind of funny how Ethan was obsessed with like literally like doing the exact same thing, you know?
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know Ethan thought like that. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna put you in
he
a
really...
glass box. Like he literally says that. It's like he's obsessed with it the whole film. I'm gonna put him in a glass box. It's
It
gonna be
has
a
to be...
glass box with this size, and he's gonna look at me in the box, and I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna say, "I put you in the box. You're in a box now. Look who's in the box. I'm not in the box. You're in the box." And then I'm gonna guess you the same way you guess me. Look who's getting guessed, not me. You are.
Yeah, and Luther's just like, all right, Ethan, we get it. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna put him in the box. Okay.
Yeah, we're with you, mate. Just calm down. Yeah. Oh, well, he did that. He did just that. So good for him, I guess. Oh man, that was funny. Was there? Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of cool how the movie opened with the subversion of the whole, like, if you choose to, your
Oh
mission should you choose to
yeah.
accept
That
it.
was cool. We are the syndicate. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, and I like how the syndicate, like, I know it's literally what they say of, like, we know everything about how you operate. And it's like, yeah, they did. They knew it down to the point where they knew, like, line by line how these intro mission tape recordings go. Like, all right, let's get to our final verdicts for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Fitzy.
It definitely deserves an 8, but I'll give it a 7. I'll stop the hesitant.
Shit.
You know, forgive me, 7 on it. Yeah.
Damn it, this isn't good. I'm scared for next week now. You're going to be even more fatigued by that point.
Yeah. But then Final Reckoning will be like a nice surprise, you know?
Hopefully.
After all,
Are you going to watch Dead Reckoning before Final Reckoning as well? Or are you scared that might contribute to your fatigue more?
Yeah, I might not. I might just
Hold off.
try to remember
yeah.
what happened there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I remember pretty well. It's pretty straightforward. You know, you got the thing at the bottom of the ocean. It's basically it, right? The entity or whatever. The entity's out there, but then that's like the key to destroying it is at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, right? Yeah. Where actually is the entity? Or it's just everywhere? Or isn't that club in Vienna? Isn't that like what the entity was? Or was that just the entity in the club?
No, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't think it actually lived there or anything. I don't think so.
Yeah, it just is omnipresent.
Yeah, crazy.
Can you imagine if the AI doesn't actually exist? Like, you know that thing where it's like they had the auto checkout, like Walmart or whatever, and they said it was all like AI, but it was just like thousands of Indians like manually looking at everyone's purchases and like putting it in. Can you imagine if the AI is like...
I've never heard of that in my life. Is that real?
Oh, really? You haven't heard of that? Yeah, it was like a big thing. It was really funny.
That's hilarious.
Imagine if it was just like Gabriel. Gabriel has freaking employees.
Yeah.
That just do that shit.
And they're definitely Indian, by the way. But yeah. Back in headquarters in Mumbai or wherever. Yeah. Oh man, before I get in trouble, I should say that I'll give Rogue Nation a very strong 8. It's very good. Definitely best Mission Impossible so far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm saying it.
Oh, I mean, I think I still prefer the first one, actually. But
I know you love the first one, yeah. But yeah, let's see if Fallout can live up to my memory of it. I'm going to try, because I do always remember it being my favourite, so I'm just going to try and clear that a little bit, just go in a bit more tempered. See how we go. All right. We got no news chat this week because nothing happened. So now it's time for our highlights of the week. Fitzy, what have you been watching?
Oh, I've been watching like a bit of TV, but I don't think I'm really far enough into anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've been watching a lot of TV. So, I mean, I watched some. I caught up on Nathan For You season. Oh, sorry, not Nathan For You. Freaking The Rehearsal. Season 2. There was 2 episodes I watched back to back, and then the 3rd episode came out. It's coming out every Monday for us. But yeah, this is another cool show that's out at the moment, I guess. But yeah, it's awesome. Basically, like, the first season, they have this whole thing where real people have to kind of rehearse situations they want to kind of enact in real life. And here they're doing that, but it's like with the whole theme, the whole kind of overarching goal with the season is it like airline pilot, basically airline safety, and like basically Nathan Fielder found that like in cockpits the main reason for crashes is miscommunication between the captain and the co-pilot, and the reason for that miscommunication is usually like a lack of confrontation with from the co-pilot. Because like it is like potential career repercussions if they like speak up too much or like disagree with the captain or whatever. And so it kind of ties into the theme of the whole show. Like the first season was kind of about that, saying no, or like rehearsing in these fake scenarios so you can assert yourself in real situations. But yeah, so the first episode was kind of more serious, but still really, really, really funny. And then the second episode is hilarious. So the second episode is legitimately like the funniest episode I've ever watched of like anything. I was like laughing so much. Like they have this. I won't say now, but like there's this whole Paramount plus Germany thing, which is just the funniest thing. Yeah, I won't go into it because I'll completely butcher it, but it's hilarious. And yeah, the show kind of maintains that thing where it's like at its heart about like relationships and stuff. And it's just, it has a lot of layers to it, like an onion. So it's very good. It's very good.
Nice. Yeah. I watched the first episode like a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And it gave me major anxiety, so I didn't continue.
Oh really?
Yeah. But now my brother's into it, and he's like
oh really?
He's discovered it. He's discovered it like with this new season. He watched all of season 1. He's up to date, I think, on season 2 as well. Now he's on my back about it as well. So I'm like, shit, I feel like I'm probably going to go back now.
Damn, Jake knows his TV cinema.
Apparently. Yeah, no, he's a big fan too now. So yeah. I don't know. The first episode just gave me anxiety. I don't know what else to say about it. Just like,
what do you mean?
It was good, but it's just like, dude, this is like. I mean, it wasn't about this guy who like had to memorize like 50 different, like every account for like hundreds of scenarios in this social situation. It's like, dude, that sounds terrible.
I mean, there is that. Like, I actually rewatched that episode.
Yeah.
Last week, and like the moment where he actually has to confess is like this really protracted moment. It goes on for like minutes, where the girl, the woman that he has to confess to, is like on her phone, and he's just kind of looking around, waiting for like the pizza order, and that was very anxiety inducing for sure.
Oh God.
I don't think there are moments like that. I think that's the most it kind of gets.
Yeah, that's what Jake said too. Yeah, he said that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might have to go back. I might have to.
Yeah.
Very good. This week, Tales of the Underworld came out this week. For May 4th, they give me May 4th presents every year, Fitzy, and this was another one. So this third go around of these Tales anthologies, this one was good. My least favorite so far of the 3, I'd say, and I think that's honestly it's a little bit because of how it was set up. To where they showed us the first episode 2 weeks ago at Celebration. The first episode was the best episode, and they showed us that, and I was riding the high of that. Because usually they just drop these episodes all at once. So you're meant to just go and you're just meant to watch them all. You know what I mean? At once. But instead, they showed us the best episode 2 weeks ago. Then I had to sit with that first episode for 2 weeks, therefore allowing my anticipation to build. And then I watched the rest of them and I was like, oh, yeah, that was the best one. So it had this unfortunately slightly inherently underwhelming aspect to it, just purely based on how it was shown to me, unfortunately. But it was still good. It was still good. If you're an animation Star Wars fiend, you can't go wrong with this. They gave Cad Bane this pretty interesting, like, whole mob boss sort of arc origin story, which is kind of cool. I appreciate that. And yeah, other than that, you get some cool action with Ventress. I guess that mainly the Ventress arc sort of underwhelmed me a little bit in the sense that I thought they were going to, based off again the first episode, I thought they were going to be a bit more ambitious with it, and instead it kind of was just cool action with Ventress, and she'll be back at some point probably. And it's like, okay, that's cool. I'll take it. Ventress will be back is kind of how it was, and it's like, that's cool. I'll take it, no doubt. But at the same time, didn't quite live up to, like, all these other Tales arcs have, like, given me some real texture to the characters. Like, obviously I made the whole Count Dooku video because it's so good. It's like that's what the other arcs in the show have done up until this point. They've added a lot of texture to these established characters and really done a great job at diving into, like, thematically what makes them tick, and I really find that interesting. The Ventress one didn't really achieve that. So that's why I was a bit underwhelmed by it. But otherwise,
underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed by
Tales of the Underwhelmed.
Tales of the Underwhelmed, yeah, exactly. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what is the coolest character name in a movie? Is that what it was? Oh, I nailed it, yes. What is the coolest character name in a movie? I was winging it while I was trying to find the exact wording there. Jai said Lucian, who I googled and I think is a League character, League of Legends character. Fitzy, can you confirm?
Oh yeah, Lucian. Yeah, is it? Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not a movie, but like, unless Jai is basing this off something else.
Unless he meant the British, like, freaking
Malfoy.
Loose. No, oh fuck, what is it? Loose. Oh, what the Idris Elba.
Who?
Idris Elba.
Oh, in what?
Luther.
Oh, Luther. No, I don't think he meant that.
No, okay.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, Luther's pretty big, pretty cool name as well.
It's decent. But
like Lucian isn't. Is Lucian in season 2 of freaking Arcane?
No, I don't recall a character name. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyway, so we'll somewhat accept that, Jai. Thank you. Andy said, it's hard to pick just one, so I came up with a top 5 for coolest character names in a movie. These are not ranked. Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. I'm already not liking this. Hans Lander? Is that how you say his name? Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards. I feel like Lander. I feel like that's me doing an Australian. It must be like Lander or something. I don't know. Hans Lander. That's kind of cool, I guess. Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop. Axel Foley. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll take that.
I wouldn't want that name, but I think it's a cool name.
You wouldn't want to be named Axel Foley by your parents?
No, Axel Foley. No, sounds awkward.
No, I don't disagree with that. But it's kind of cool. We got Tequila, played by Chow Yun-fat from John Woo's Hard Boiled. Shout out to Jaden for showing me a killer cap online the other day. I don't know what any of that means. And Mr. Pink from, I presume, Reservoir Dogs. Isn't Buscemi pink? He is, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Some decent ones there. Thank you, Andy. That's good. I like Axel Foley. Tequila. Yeah, Tequila's good. I like that. Dr. Luke said Vincent Vega and, oh God, Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction.
Mm.
Wait, that's not Samuel L. Jackson, is it? No, he plays what's his
No,
name? Jules. He's Jules.
Marcellus Wallace isn't it Ving? Oh, I hope I'm not wrong on that. I think is that Ving?
Wait, is Ving in Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah, he is, right?
Is he really? I don't know.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna say yes. Okay, yeah.
Dude, he is. I had no idea. What? Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I saw Pulp Fiction once like 8 years ago, bro. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why we got to review it. Okay, no, those are. I like Marcellus Wallace. That's a good name. I like that. Winter Vegas, cool, I guess, but like Marcellus Wallace is my pick of the two.
There you go. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Julie said, a very cool character name which I often remember is Mr. Bigglesworth, the Devon Rex cat owned by Dr. Evil in some of the Austin Powers movies. It reminds me of our cat we had, Eddie.
I remember Eddie. Yeah.
I don't know you had a cat named Eddie. Was this like back in the?
It's back in the day. My mum got allergic to Eddie though, so that's why. No cats. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
But I always. So Eddie, apparently this isn't where Eddie's from, but our driveway was made by a guy called Eddie. And I always say like, Eddie the cat, he came from Eddie, like the guy who made the driveway. And then, like, apparently that's wrong, but I always say that just to like annoy people, you know. Oh yeah, Eddie, he came from Eddie the driveway man. Yeah. I think I actually used to think that, but now I just say it just to annoy.
I assume it's because you only know like that one Eddie. Because like, why would you name a pet after a man who worked on your driveway?
But I say like he actually came from it. Like he gave it to us. He gave the cat to us.
Oh, like I'm going to give you this cat.
Yeah.
And in honor of Eddie, you named it Eddie.
I just assumed his name was already Eddie. I don't know.
It's so weird. It's like Eddie named this cat Eddie.
It's like one of those childhood things that you just like, associations that you just like make and you mess up and then you just like keep forever, even though you, like, I know it's wrong, but I'm just gonna keep believing it. You know?
Sure. That sucks to be allergic to cats. That sucks because like that's like being allergic to like one of Earth's best things. You know, that sucks.
Yeah, but she became allergic. I don't know. I didn't know you could become allergic.
Neither. I don't know anything about it. That's crazy. Leanne said, welcome back. Thank you, Leanne. The coolest movie character would have to be Indiana Jones. That's it. Can't think of a better name. Can't disagree. And can't understand why that wasn't Dr. Luke's answer, to be honest with you. Maybe he thought it was too obvious, which I respect as well. But
yeah,
very good character name nonetheless. Well, what's his real name again?
Oh, because
Henry.
Right. Didn't they say Indiana was the dog or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Henry Jones.
Henry
I mean,
Jones
that's a fine name. That's a nice name, I guess. I wouldn't say it's cool, but it's nice. Indiana Jones. That's pretty sick. And Kevin rounds us out here with Shrek.
I thought he was joking, but apparently he thinks it's a cool name. I mean,
Shrek's a cool name?
He's not clued in on the memes, so I guess he was genuine.
That's funny. That makes it better.
Yeah. I know.
I'm not saying Shrek's not a cool name. It's just not at all what I would have expected as an answer, I guess. I feel like I'm going to take some more reflection to really try and do some soul searching and figure out if I think Shrek's a cool name or not.
Yeah.
It's not a bad name, I guess.
Some soul searching for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Is that Jaden messaging us live on the podcast?
Did you get that too? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Cool character names. Man. Basically, a lot of cool spy character names is the conclusion I came to. Obviously, you can't go past Ethan Hunt. Obviously, I mean, that's in this movie. Can't go past Solomon Lane. We talked about all these names. They're great. But continuing the trend, dude, Vesper Lind?
Oh, yeah.
That's a sick name. Like,
true.
I've never heard of anyone remotely named Vesper in my life. Is Vesper a real name that people have?
I can see it. As a real name. I don't know, I've never met a Vesper, obviously. Maybe.
I've never heard of one.
Never heard of
But
one. Never seen one in the wild.
never seen a Vesper out there. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a sick. And you got sticking with Bond. You got Javier Bardem's name. And do you know what Javier Bardem's name in Skyfall is?
No, I can't. Can you give me a clue? You give me like what it sounds like a rhyming scheme.
Oh God. Can I? What's something that rhymes with this? Why are you making me do this shit? No, I can't do it. Silva. It's his name's Raul Silva.
Raul Silva. Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Also, shout out to, this is separate from movies, but I feel like other people went there. So, the Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan's Breaking Bad universe has some cool names, I've got to say. I mean, Walter White's reasonably cool. It's, it's on the generic side, but it's kind of cool. But then, Gustavo Fring is a sick name. I love that.
Yeah. So good, Jimmy.
Mike Ehrmantraut. What a name.
Yeah.
I'm not impressing you, am I?
I saw Goodman as like the main one I think of. Mike Ehrmantraut's nice. Yeah.
Mike Ehrmantraut, it's just like Ehrmantraut. Like, that is so specific and so weird. And it's cool.
But doesn't it just make you like think of fish, trout?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. Fitzy, what are your answers?
Well, the Raoul thing made me think of Ra's al Ghul, which I think is obviously a very cool name. But
that's a cool name. Yeah.
Snake Plissken from Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Kurt Russell's character. He was the inspiration for Solid Snake.
Yeah.
It's cool because they have Snake in the first as the forename, the first name, and then last name Pliskin, with a hissing sound. Hiss. Ken, solid ending as well. So that's a cool name.
Yeah.
And then I like it, Gordon Gekko. Whenever I think of Gordon Gekko, I think of I haven't actually seen Wall Street, but I think of Edward Norton's like monologue in 25th Hour. When he talks about the Wall Street people, those Gordon Gekko wannabe motherfuckers. It's just it's a name that rolls off the tongue like that is suitable for such a monologue because it's such a nice name, such a snappy name like that, Gordon Gekko, and it's got that slime to it as well. It definitely feels slimy.
It does. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I think it's good that we didn't have any Star Wars. I didn't have any Star Wars characters because George Lucas is notoriously terrible with names. Actually, no, that's a bit unfair. He has got some cool Star Wars names. Mace Windu's that is kind of a cool name. Shit, yeah.
Anakin Skywalker? Cool. How's that not cool? That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I guess I'm a bit fixated on his bad pun ones, like Jedi Master. I'm gonna die is one of the that's up there. That's up there, dude. But you know what? Actually, I think his main characters are actually pretty good. It's more the Glup Shido characters. Like, what do you think of some of these ones?
But don't you think the names are almost equal to like how cool they are? Like Darth Vader is one of the coolest names, and he's one of the coolest characters. Anakin Skywalker.
Han Solo is a pretty cool name.
Kenobi.
Yeah, these actually shit. No, you're making a good case here.
And then the shitty characters get the shitty names, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think there is a certain, I must say actually, now that we're saying all this, there is a certain naming magic with Star Wars that's been lost in the source, I think, over the years, where like, I feel like new Star Wars characters created today don't have as cool names. They got kind of generic names now.
I don't think Rey never really hit for me as a name.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Kylo Ren's kind of that's pretty cool. That's pretty hard.
But like Finn,
But yeah, Finn.
Pro was alright. Pro Dameron, I mean that's kind of
Pro Dameron, that's decent. That's decent. Yeah. But then like I don't know, maybe I'm thinking like yeah. I don't know. I think I like all the Rogue One characters. You got like I mean they're not bad. They're like Chirrut Imwe. It's like alright.
Who is that?
That's Donnie Yen.
Oh yeah. Right.
You got like I mean like Cassian Andor. I mean that is actually kind of cool. I mean it's kind of iconic now. But like at the time. Krennic is good. That's a good name. Director Orson Krennic.
Yeah, that's nice actually, yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I might take back some of this. You know what? Actually, maybe I'm just picking on maybe I'm picking on Skeleton Crew for having really bad names. Actually, now that I think about it, because I'm not gonna lie, when I said the modern stuff has bad names, that's kind of what I thought of first.
Oh, okay.
You've got. Do you know what Jude Law's name in Skeleton Crew is?
No, enlighten me.
It's oh my god! It's Jod Nanawood.
Jod Nanawood.
Jod Nanawood.
Oh, that's silly. That's definitely a bad name.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, and like one of the kids' name is Fern. So what are we doing here, guys?
I was actually thinking of Star Wars names when I was rewatching The Phantom Menace. And I was like Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. I thought, like, how long did it, take to come up with Qui-Gon Jinn? Because that's a good name. Qui-Gon Jinn is a great name.
That is a good name. That is a really good name.
It's like how do you come up with a great name like that?
I don't know. I imagine like George was probably just like he wanted a similarly like what's the correct phrasing? Like a similarly spaced out name to Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? That's just
like the hyphen, yeah.
The hyphen first name thing. He wanted to do that again, I guess.
Right. Like even Obi-Wan Kenobi is just great.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah. All right, I take back the George slander. Not on Jedi Master. I'm gonna die though. That's not on that one. But all right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, reviews for next week's film in the YouTube or Instagram comment section, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we'll be asking you is, what is the best movie with dual villains?
Yes.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Vinci, do you want to cite your example that we thought really hard to come up with?
Okay, so there's two examples from the same series. So Batman Forever. Both Riddler and Two-Face. Because we didn't just want like ancillary, like, sidekick kind of villains. We want two strong villains at the forefront, So like in Batman Forever you have Riddler, Jim Carrey, and Two-Face, Harvey Dent, Tommy Lee Jones. Likewise in Batman and Robin you have Uma Thurman, Poison Ivy, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Mr. Freeze. So it's like we want two four-facing, strong dual villains. Or like Zach said, Rogue One, Krennic and Tarkov, right? No, not Tarkov. What's his name? Tarkin. Escape from Tarkin. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there you go. Good example. Which Batman movie was Billy D. Williams Harvey Dent in? Which one was that? Was that Batman Returns?
Billy D. Williams Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I think that was Batman
like the first one?
Or maybe the first one.
Was Billy D...
He got recast, man. Yeah, no, Tim Burton's for the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, because Batman Returns... Oh, Batman Returns is another example. Because you got Catwoman and fucking the Penguin.
Yeah.
Wait, the first one just has Joker, right? There's no...
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think every other one, though, yeah.
Because Billy D. Williams isn't really... Harvey Dent... Oh, wait.
No, he's like he's just like... He's just Harvey Dent, Ben Harvey Dent, before anything goes crazy there.
Yeah. Have you rewatched these Batman films? I don't think I've really revisited the Tim Burton films.
No, I was never a big fan. Obviously, you know what? I've never seen Returns or Forever, ever.
Oh, really? Returns? Yeah.
I just know about them through pop culture, obviously, but like I've never seen them. I've only
What?
ever seen. I've seen '89, obviously, like maybe once, and I've seen Batman and Robin.
Oh. I mean, Forever has like the Schumacher appeal if you're into that, but like Returns is actually like a good movie. You know, you should watch Returns. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Is this our next franchise?
Returns is like the more gothic version of the first one. You know, it's cool. It has freaking.
I just don't like. I don't know, man.
Oh my god, I can't remember names though. Chris. Oh, the mayor is Christopher Walken. He's a very cool character in that. Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's
I didn't
big.
know that. I mean, you know, I've just got an anti Tim Burton thing going on, to be honest with you.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Batman Returns is exempt. Okay, you gotta check that out.
Yeah, no, I really should. You're actually right. I really should check it out. So yeah, maybe we'll review it. Maybe then I'll check it out. We'll see. But we're not reviewing it next week. Fitzy, what are we doing next week?
Well, we're continuing back to back with the Mission Impossible franchise. This latest film, The Final Reckoning, came out sooner than anticipated.
Yeah.
So we're doing Mission Impossible Fallout, which is on Stan Foxtel Paramount Binge. So yeah, Henry Cavill, Vanessa Kirby and Rebecca Ferguson and Henry Cavill and Solomon Lane in the same movie. Like, come on, it's great,
dude. I think, and it's basically everyone from this one, right? Barring like Renner doesn't come back, I think, but everyone else does.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, that's it. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate Liam for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week, everyone, and goodbye.